Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Newton and today I'm going to be talking to you about various different diets. Okay, there are a lot of diets out there right now. A lot of people are talking about different diets. It's hard to know which one to do, and today I'm just going to talk about the nuts and bolts of the most popular diets, at least from my perspective, the most popular diets. So I'm going to talk about the ketogenic diet, the paleo diet, the autoimmune protocol diet, the vegan diet, Whole30, and Trim Healthy Mama. Maybe that might be the newest one on the scene. So I'm going to be talking about the nuts and bolts of these diets. And then in the next video, which I'll link up here, I'm going to be talking about how do you decide which one, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see. First of all, I'll put that here. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's start with the ketogenic diet. This is the one I'm on currently, but I am going to be sort of modifying it here pretty soon. I'm actually doing dairy-free keto. So some of this doesn't apply to me, but I'm going to be modifying it to add some paleo days into my week. So the keto diet consists of very little grains. If there are any, if they're high glycemic, they're definitely considered a cheat. No sugar, no fruit except berries, no potatoes, including sweet potatoes, no rice, no beans, very low carbs, so 20 to 50 grams per day, and high in fat. So the important part of the ketogenic diet is the macro ratios. So you would have about 75% fat in your diet, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. And these carbs are generally low glycemic. So there are specific foods that you can and cannot eat on the ketogenic diet. There are some people that will do this diet and if it fits your macros kind of fashion, which might be okay, meaning that they might eat some higher glycemic carbs if they're still able to eat them and still get that 5% carb ratio, okay? And it can still fit their macros. All right, so that is the ketogenic diet. Now, some people will do this without dairy. Some people will do it without nuts. I'm allergic to nuts, so I eat seeds instead of nuts. Some people will play around with the macros. Some people can tolerate more macros and still stay in a ketogenic state. And a ketogenic state is basically where you're burning fat for fuel instead of glucose for the most part, which a lot of people find that the ketogenic diet helps them stay energized, because, among other things, because of that. And I'll get into that more in the other video on how to choose which diet. I'll be talking more about the pros and cons of each diet. So that's the ketogenic diet. The paleo diet, which I have also done in the past, I did at least a month, and again, I'm going to be incorporating it into my ketogenic diet. So this one is also no grains, no legumes, no hydrogenated oils. Some lists will include no salt, and I disagree with that, because if you're eating very clean and you're not eating processed food, you need salt. No soy, no corn, no dairy, no processed food, even stevia. So you can do this strict or not strict. I mean, stevia is just one example. If you think about it, stevia is actually processed, even though it's a single product, okay, a single ingredient food. So when I was doing paleo, I did use stevia. I can't think of anything else that was processed, maybe like a nut flour or something. And so you can do it strict or not strict. You can keep to the nuts and bolts of it, but still cheat with some, like a single ingredient item such as stevia, as long as it's like part of the paleo mentality. And the paleo idea is to eat the way our ancestors ate. They were hunters and gatherers. So they ate, fruits that they gathered, and they ate meats that they hunted. So that's the basis of the paleo diet. And actually, the way I'm doing keto, I'm sort of doing keto and paleo anyway, because I'm not eating dairy. I eat clean keto, so I'm not getting any trans fats. I keep my fats to good fats such as avocado oil, olive oil, and things like that, coconut oil. So let's move on to the autoimmune protocol. This is more like a medical diet. So This would be for somebody who's suffering from any kind of autoimmune condition or inflammation. And almost everybody who's eating the standard American diet has inflammation, or anybody who has a chronic illness probably has inflammation. So, this could help anybody, but specifically if you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, this can really be an amazing diet. So there are no seeds, no nuts, no dairy, including ghee, no grains, no eggs, no legumes, including peanuts, no nightshades, which are tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, and potatoes, no sugar or sugar alternatives. So basically they want you to have nothing that tastes sweet except occasional honey, no food additives, no alcohol, and no oils except avocado, coconut, and olive. So again, those healthy oils. So, this is very anti-inflammatory. Some people are not familiar with people who have problems with nightshades. The idea is that in some people, and I definitely hear this from some of my clients, nightshades can cause inflammation and can cause autoimmune type symptoms. And so some people will just completely stop eating or consuming any type of nightshade vegetable. So this one, it's pretty tight, you can eat meat, you can eat some vegetables, but it's very specific on which vegetables and which fruits you can have, no alcohol. So it's a little bit tighter than the paleo and ketogenic diet. Now, keto is tight in terms of your macros and tracking your specific macros each day. Where the AIP, they're not concerned about macros. This is not a diet to lose weight, although you can lose weight on it. They're more concerned with making sure you're eating foods that will help you to reduce the autoimmune component of your condition. All right. So number 4, vegan. Some people will go vegan. So this includes no meat, fish, or dairy products, even eggs. You can do vegetarian. So if you wanted to, you can include fish or eggs, or some people will even include dairy, some won't. So the purpose of this diet would be, people who go full vegan oftentimes are concerned with no exploitation of animals, but you must focus on things like protein, iron, and B12. Some people will actually do vegan keto. I don't know that you can do vegan paleo. No, because paleo has a lot of meat. You probably cannot pull off vegan autoimmune protocol because, you need to be consuming lots of fruits and vegetables. You need to be making sure you're combining your foods in order to get that protein and things. So I don't think that those two could be combined. And I'll talk more about that in the other video. Whole30. So this is a relatively new diet that a lot of people have been doing. And this includes no legumes, such as these items, including peanuts, no grains, including no rice, no sugars or sweeteners, not even 0-calorie sweeteners, such as stevia. And the point of that is to break the addiction to the sweets with this diet. No alcohol, no dairy, no treats, even those made from approved foods, and no preservatives. So, this is something that I may try one day because I do have quite a sweet tooth. And even though I'm doing the ketogenic diet and my carbs are very low right now, I'm constantly looking for like a sweet treat made from stevia or monk fruit or something. It's almost like this drive that I at some point might want to break. So I might do Whole30 for a month or something at some point to see if I can just calm down that drive for sweets. It's interesting to not make treats, even those made from, so they don't want you to recreate pancakes with the Whole30 ingredients. They don't want you to recreate cupcakes with the Whole30 ingredients because they want you to cut that sugar craving. And last, Trim Healthy Mama. So this one you eat every 3 hours. You separate your fats from your carbs. So your main macro with, say, breakfast is going to be maybe a protein and a fat. And then your main macro, let's say for lunch, is going to be, let's say, a protein and a carb. But you don't do fats and carbs in the same meal. Okay, you separate them as much as possible. There's no sugar on this diet and no starch except for sprouted breads and sourdough breads and some fruits and vegetables. So this one is, you know, it seems doable. It's just that you have to watch your meal combinations and you have to be eating every 3 hours. And I think that is so that you can help regulate your blood sugar, which keto regulates blood sugar too, because it's basically just low carb. It's very minimal spiking of insulin, but this one is every 3 hours so that you can kind of maintain your glucose level throughout the day. Separating fats and carbs so that you're constantly changing up your fuel source, whether it be, you know, glucose or fat. And that's Trim Healthy Mama. So these are the nuts and bolts of how and what is allowed, what is not allowed on these various very popular diets right now. Again, I'm going to go into more of like pros and cons and comparisons in my next video, which again is going to be linked in the card. So that's about it for this one. Again, my name is Stephanie Newton. I have a wellness practice that I practice from my home. I see clients all around the world over video chat. So if you're interested in that, you can see my website below. Also, if you got anything out of this video, please like and subscribe if you're interested in getting more information about all the things that I talk about, including holistic ways of living, conscious parenting, different diets, different ways to prepare foods and things like that. Just basically all things holistic on my YouTube channel. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.